So now we're going to cover the muscles on the posterior part of the neck and the back. We'll start with the biggest muscle. It's going to make a kite-shaped structure starting here, 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 and here. You can see them really obvious on the muscle men, the little mini muscle dudes. They'll have that kite-shaped structure, and that'll be your trapezius muscle. It's the biggest muscle you have on your back, and it's the biggest muscle located on your body. If we were to take off the trapezius like we just did, you can see a couple really distinct structures, and then you'll recognize this also when we go over the rotator cuff. So the first structure I notice here is the acromial spine, which is associated to your scapula, which means your scapular bone is going to sit right here, and now we're going to be able to cover some of the muscles that are associated to it. But let's start with the muscles of the neck, and then I'll work our way to the rotator cuff, because really we're going to test you next week on the rotator cuff muscles. I just want to point out you can see them on this model. So the first one we're going to start with is the Levator Scapulae. It's one of my favorite and one of my least favorite muscles. It's my favorite because it's a great name. So levator again means to elevate. Scapula is the bone we're elevating. So this muscle right here, its job is to help elevate the scapula. But a lot of people who study a lot or are hunched over their books for long periods of time, they're going to have a lot of pain in this muscle region, especially women who tend to bear more weight in their anterior portion of their body. They'll have that pain right in that area, and it's due to that muscle's inability to be able to keep your body fully supported. So this is your Levator Scapulae. So then another muscle that's important for your neck, we call this one right here, next to it, the Splenus capitis. A lot of students will get this one mixed up with Levator Scapulae, but you guys are going to rock it out on your exam because you know the Levator Scapulae is connected to your scapula, whereas the Splenus capitis is not. It's associated with your cervical vertebrae. So make sure you have those two distinct muscles separated and known well in your head. So then a couple more postural muscles in your back that are worth noting that are on your terms list are the rhomboids. So we have the rhomboid minor and the rhomboid major. If these muscles are not strengthened, again, you're going to have a lot of postural issues. They're named, instead of superior inferior, they're named for their size. So the rhomboid minor is going to sit right here. It's going to be connecting your scapula to your vertebrae, and then it's going to be minor because of the two rhomboids, it's going to be a little bit smaller. Then your rhomboid major is going to be right here, again, connecting your scapula to your vertebrae. It's the bigger of the two, and again, going to be important for postural reasons. See, the last two muscles that we're going to cover on here that we can see, again, this will be more tested with the rotator cuff, but again, I don't want you guys just to learn models. We're learning anatomy. You can see part of the rotator cuff on this model. And so we've got the spine that's located here, the acromial spine on the scapula, and we have the infra and infraspinatus muscles. What does this mean? It means supra, above. What is it above? The spine. We use the word spinatus, so supraspinatus and infraspinatus. Infra meaning below the spine. So again, we'll test you on those during the lab practical, but just note they are on this model, which means you can be tested on it for the practical. So those are all the major muscles you can see on your terms list for this week. Covering this model, we covered the cranium and face in video 1. In video 2, we covered the anterior structures of the head, neck, and shoulders. And then in this video, we covered the posterior structures. Good luck, and let us know if you have any questions on any of these videos.